Hello and welcome back to EAC. I'm here with my friend Ben today, and we are going to be doing a review on The Lighthouse, which came out this year in 2019, obviously directed by Robert Eggers, who also directed The Witch, and I didn't really want to see this movie as much. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, that movie looks cool, but after I saw The Witch, I didn't see it when it first came out in 2015, because that was like 4 years ago, and I was either 11 or 12 then, so obviously I didn't see The Witch. So I saw The Witch like 1 or 2 months ago, and I loved The Witch. A review for that may be coming soon. So I knew I wanted to see this movie. It was me, you, and my mom and my dad. They did.
This is like live reactions. Like we literally just saw it. We literally just got home.
And we drove, I think, like 40-something minutes because
it was a good.
It wasn't. Yeah, because it wasn't a wide release, so we didn't go to our
AMC
local. Yeah, we went to
theater,
AMC Theater.
I think.
And yeah, so we actually, I think that shows how much we want to see this movie, other than like, oh, we'll wait until it comes out on DVD or whatever, on Blu-ray, on demand, like Netflix or something. But yeah, we really want to see this, so we drove wherever to go see this movie. And my parents didn't like this movie, like not at all. They thought it was boring. And I also saw Hereditary with my mom last night. I showed it, and she didn't like that either. I mean, it's not like she doesn't like these type of movies, but I thought, and you thought, this movie was insane. I thought Joker was not bad as in like it was a bad movie, but bad as in like the stuff that they showed in it,
stuff that they can pull off,
like the insane and like the weird stuff that they put in that. It was like, wow, they're really going for it. This movie just like goes way past that.
We don't care about society cues. We're just gonna do what we want.
Like Robert Eggers, I think in an interview, he said something like, when you make a movie like this, you try not to put the audience against you. Like, oh, I can't believe he's showing that, and he just did it anyways. And you know, that kind of shows how out there he really is to make a movie, whatever movie he wants. And I kind of admire why he did that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely an ambitious movie, and we're not going to get into spoilers in this video, but we are going to make another video about theories and spoilers.
Just discussing the ending as a whole and questionable scenes that may spoil.
Yeah, so that will be a whole separate video. That kind of shows how much we care about this movie and are thinking about it.
That'd be more like a Lighthouse explanation, because this isn't a spoiler, but the plot really doesn't have a right direction, because you think it's going one way, and then all of a sudden, shit hits the fan, and it's going completely in opposite way than you would expect.
It's pretty unpredictable. My dad said he knew the main gist of the movie.
I think everyone did, though, going into the movie.
Yeah,
going into the trailer, if you watch the trailer,
there are two guys on an island by themselves. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? You guys can infer that one for yourselves. I mean, that's not a spoiler.
It was literally in the description for, like, IGN or whatever.
I know.
It was, like, two guys trapped on an island. They go insane.
Yeah, it's like, you know the main plot of the movie, how it kind of will turn out.
There have been plenty of movies made around this subject of being trapped.
We just did a review on The Shining, which is...
There was one scene, I forgot what scene it was, but I was like, oh my god, that's straight out of The Shining, what they just pulled there. And I think it was when he was talking about how the guy before kind of went crazy.
This was in the trailer, by the way. This isn't a spoiler.
His old assistant went crazy.
Because of the light?
I don't know, it was because of something. I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but it was kind of like the job scene that The Shining. I'm like, oh my god, that's straight out of The Shining.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I don't know, you could connect all of the dots since we saw The Shining literally a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Yeah, the isolation feel that they're literally by themselves is, that can connect to The Shining and a bunch of other movies. My dad said Shutter Island. I haven't seen that, but apparently there's some parallels between that and this movie. So this movie is, as we said, ambitious with what it's trying to do, and again, without getting into spoilers, because this is a new release, there are certain decisions that may be seen as questionable, and you have to think, he obviously did it for a reason. Robert Eggers, he's a smart director. He's not just going to put something in. You saw that with The Witch. I mean, he puts stuff in for reasons, doesn't just throw it in just to throw it in. Specifically with a mermaid, and the mermaid was in the cast of the movie. It was Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and then the mermaid character. And yeah, there's some scenes with her that could be seen as questionable, and rest assured it was awkward next to my parents right there.
I
So
was laughing
a
so hard.
little disclaimer: don't maybe not see this with your parents.
Or your kids,
yeah, or your
depending on who
kids.
you are.
Jeez,
It's rated R for a reason. We'll give it that.
Yeah, and
I think
I
what
wish
we're
we could have
referring
seen
to.
it by ourselves, but we literally couldn't because it was rated R. We couldn't get in the theater without parents. And yeah, so those scenes, you kind of know why he put it in, because the two guys, I'm not going to spoil this, but they're on an island by themselves. They're lonely. I mean, it's only two guys. There's no possible way that someone else could get there unless they went on a boat. And at the beginning of the movie, they get there by boat and they're on the island. Like, it starts with that, not just in the middle of them like talking. You kind of see how they got to the island. They're on the boat. They go there and they're just like, huh, so now it's us alone.
They're there for 4 weeks until the next boat comes, and then they swap places with the.
Yeah.
It's the change of guards type thing.
Yeah. So you kind of see a bit of that at the beginning when they actually go to the island. But past those with the mermaid and stuff like that, a lot of, kind of along with the mermaid as well, a lot of really unsettling shots that really got under the skin. A lot of quick shots that I'm not going to really talk about.
They used a lot of camera effects, like imagery that would like catch you off guard. Cinematography, that's what it is. That would kind of catch you off guard, and kind of like also be like, hold on, is this reality? And then there would be like, it would just a lot of cool shots that are like unsettling and like cool in general, but also like just create the mood. Yeah.
As well as the black and white, which we both said, kind of, because this is a very, like, sad, depressing kind of, they're on an island by themselves. It's not kind of the place you want to be in. This takes place in the 1890s, I believe, in New England. And, it kind of matches the mood with the movie, as you said, the tone and everything. And there's not much to look at either. There's not much color anyways. It's, like, stormy kind of almost throughout the whole movie. And yeah, I like the choice of black and white. Back to the unsettling imagery, a lot of under the skin moments that really make you just look at it and be like, is this... There was a quote for the witch that was in the trailer that was, someone said, it feels like we're watching something that we shouldn't be seeing. I didn't really see a lot with that movie, but with this movie, definitely, I think this one is definitely more extreme than The Witch. And a lot of shots when it's just like, you're sitting there watching it and you're, as you said, what am I watching right now? But it's not kind of a bad feeling of that. It's kind of a good, just really confused in a good way.
It's doing its job. It's a psychological horror movie.
Yeah.
It's doing its job to confuse you and disorient you, to make you panic and creep out and all this
kind of
other
like
stuff.
It's kind of putting you in the mood that the Lighthouse keepers are going through, because they're going insane, trying not to go insane.
It kept you tense right off the bat, I feel like, with the horn beeping, the fog horn.
That sound effect, like throughout the whole movie, you could hear in the background at some points. It's in the trailer at the beginning of the first trailer. You probably know what sound it is. It's like or something like that. And it's throughout the whole movie, and it's just unsettling every time you hear it. As you said with the opening shot, when they get there, literally nothing happens when they get there. They get out the boat and they get settled in, I guess. And it's just the mood it makes with the soundtrack as well as some of the imagery. It's just weird to see, and it's kind of hard to explain. I hate to keep on using the word unsettling, but it really is. Seeing a lot of different shots that Robert Eggers put in this movie, a lot of the different decisions that I thought were good to put in the movie, even though a lot of people could just sit back and look at it and be like, oh, why do you put that in? That was just a stupid scene. But you can understand why and how it kind of pays its part in the movie, and how it kind of gets you inside the head of the characters and kind of puts them in your place. As I said, with some of the different shots that he uses and the creepy shots, you kind of get in the head of one of the lighthouse keepers. To Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, I think they both may deserve Oscars. I think definitely Willem Dafoe.
Phenomenal.
And I know I said in my Joker review that I really want Joaquin Phoenix to win it. Robert Pattinson gives like one of his best performances, not counting Twilight. I mean, that wasn't a good performance anyways, but just
in my opinion,
move Twilight
probably
out.
His best performance.
Yeah, and Willem Dafoe,
if not his best.
I actually haven't been like really fond of Willem Dafoe in the past. In The Great Wall, which is the most recent movie that I've seen him in, not like Spider-Man and stuff like that when he was Green Goblin, but The Great Wall, I didn't really like him in The Great Wall.
The Great Wall also flopped in my opinion. He didn't have as big as an acting role as he had, or an acting burden as in this movie. In this movie, they kind of put like all the trust into him.
He has most of the dialogue, more than Robert Pattinson.
Both of them do. They're sharing the whole movie, basically.
Yeah, but I think I saw this in another review. Willem Dafoe is kind of the talker amongst them too, and Robert Pattinson kind of is more quiet and doesn't really, just wants to get the job done. But when Willem Dafoe starts, asking him all these questions, like in the trailer, he asks him a question and it just goes on with conversations between them two. This was another quote. Robert Pattinson versus Willem Dafoe, it's that excellent or something. It was in the trailer as well. And just both of these people just give an awesome performance that I think is definitely Oscar worthy. Again, very unsettling, both of them throughout the whole movie. Very creepy, but not in a way that you would think. I go back to the girl in Ouija Origin of Evil, as well as Danny in The Shining. He's kind of, you could root for him in that movie, but in Ouija Origin of Evil, the girl in that movie is just creepy throughout the whole thing, and just the way she delivers her lines and the way she acts physically, like with her face and her body movements and all that, it's just creepy. But in this movie, it's not always that. It's mostly how they say things and the way they say them that kind of gets you a bit on edge, as you said earlier, as well as with the soundtrack and the cinematography. Overall, I really liked it. As much as The Witch, I'm really not sure. I'm kind of tied, honestly, between them two. Again, a review for The Witch may be coming soon. So I think we'll get straight into the grading.
I just wanted to say that, like, at the same time, and also, unlike how you're rooting for Dan, I might butcher this name, but Ephraim. I think that's the character's name. The character's name, you kind
Winslow.
Winslow. I'll just call him Winslow.
Robert Pattinson's character.
If for Winslow, who's his name in the movie, you kind of almost root for him, even though he does all this crazy shit in the movie. Yet you still kind of root for the character, even when crap happens and all this other stuff happens. You're kind of still always like, oh, will they make it out, or will this happen, or you always have to choose a side. I feel like in this movie.
It's almost like how in superhero movies, a lot of times the villain is more interesting than the hero. And a lot of times, like, especially in The Dark Knight, you're kind of like, oh, the Joker is, like, blowing up a hospital. That's really bad, but it's like, you're kind of...
You want it to happen. There was no villain, but there also was no hero.
Yeah.
You just kind of had to root for whoever you want.
Yeah. And as I said before with the quote, it's like they're facing off with each other in this movie. And it's just...
It's literally two guys stuck on an island.
And they're there for 4 weeks until another ship is supposed to come and take them away and, switch out the ships with other people. But it really is that great how they face off with each other in this movie. And it was really entertaining there. And this movie is also really funny. There are a lot of...
Dark humor.
Dark humor. That there's one part when Willem Dafoe's character is just near the beginning. He's going on and on for something like 30 seconds straight without even taking a breath, and he's just describing the most random things to describe Robert Pattinson's character, like something that he did, I think. And he just says the most random stuff, and it's like really funny. A lot of fart jokes too, which I thought would kind of be like.
They also did in the middle of like the conflict scenes, like near the ending scenes. There was also a couple of fart jokes they snuck in here and there.
I know. It was just
try to lighten the mood a little bit.
I know, almost like that. And it's just my dad also said he was kind of waiting for stuff to happen. He's like it was.
It is a waiting game. This movie was a waiting game.
Yeah,
and you have to go into it with an open mind. You can't just go into it thinking it's like what you said, a Marvel film.
Yeah, where it's not every movie is gonna have big spectacles, big fight scenes and spectacles and stuff. I mean, this movie, they're literally trapped on a lighthouse alone, and with the jokes, like the fart jokes and stuff, they're gonna be doing that in real life if it was back then, or if it was now. I don't know if they have lighthouse keepers like they did back then, that extreme, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, the only problem with this movie that I have is, well, this is a small problem that I'm not going to let affect my grade, but you can't really understand them at some parts. This was a bigger problem in The Witch, and it was a bit of a problem in this movie. I'm not going to let this affect the grade, but it was just kind of a little thing that I wish could have, not subtitles, I wouldn't want subtitles on it. I had to turn the subtitles on for when I watched The Witch, but in this movie, a couple of parts when you just couldn't hear them.
Like, if you have to turn subtitles on, I'd say that I'd dock it maybe a few, like, 0.3 points or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, in this, they used a lot of basic old language, so you got the main gist of what they were saying. Unlike The Witch, although I haven't seen The Witch, if you have to turn on subtitles, then that's saying something. But when I watched this, I got, like, the main gist of what they were saying.
Yeah, as well as very accurate. Robert Eggers, and I think Max Eggers, his brother, they wrote this movie, the dialogue and stuff, and they put a lot of research into how people talked back then.
The script writing was incredible. Like,
a lot of
the parts where they would go off, like, for, like, 2 minutes straight of just random nonsense, like, where they get angry, and then they'd be going on, like, Poseidon's Wrath and all this other
stuff like that.
Like, stuff. It was almost like reading like, they literally had to write a poetry, basically.
Like some weird Shakespeare.
It was Shakespeare.
It was almost like that, and I mean, even though that adds to the accuracy, you just couldn't understand them at some point.
The amount of effort, though, that went into this movie was, I think that's what
definitely
really sets it apart from all the other movies of this year.
Definitely, like, historically accurate from what this time frame was, which, as I said, the 1890s. My only real problem with this movie that will affect the grade a little bit is some scenes just took me out of it. Like, I wasn't really paying attention as much as I should. It was kind of long and not very eventful. As I said, like, this goes back to, not every movie is a Marvel movie.
It's a waiting game.
With big fight scenes and stuff, but it does make you wait at some points. I think for a bit too long. I think at some points, just some scenes, I just zoned out a little bit for some scenes. But I think a lot of other scenes definitely makes up for it. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of a problem, but it won't affect the grade too much because I loved this movie. I thought it was great. As I said, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, like, facing off, it was just really entertaining to watch. And even though they're on a lighthouse and it doesn't seem like a lot of stuff can happen, what Robert Eggers put in this movie, how he did make stuff happen and did make this into a horror movie / dark comedy was, I mean, he did a great job with this movie. So what's your grade for The Lighthouse?
So my grade, I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. If I were to grade it alone, just as a regular movie, like, just following the plot, I'd probably give it an 8.5. But the amount of effort that went into this movie, like the set design, the screenwriting, the imagery, the cinematography, all that playing in just bumps it up to a whole half point, to a 9 out of 10. Like, I would originally give it an 8.5 out of 10 based on plot and what happened, but after everything else, it's like, this deserves the 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. And for me, I think I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. This movie, as I said, the little problem with it kind of took me out of some scenes. I wasn't paying attention, as Robert Eggers probably wanted me to. But yeah, with you, the production design, everything else about this movie was awesome.
Production as a whole.
And, the performances were good. Everything about this movie, I really want to talk about. That's why we're making a whole nother video about spoilers and theories about
the Lighthouse explanation.
Basically.
Is what it is.
And even though I really want to get into that and kind of want to spoil it in this video, I'm not going to, don't worry. But a lot of scenes when I want to just give my opinion and be like, oh, this scene was really good and all that. Just the whole movie, I really want you guys to see this movie if you're into stuff like this. And because I think you'll appreciate it. Maybe more than me, give it like a 10 out of 10 or
You
whatever.
may not like it, but you're going to have to appreciate it, I feel
like. Yeah, it'll make you think, definitely. And that's why I feel like I kind of butchered what I was trying to say a second ago with the scenes that I just want to, just kind of let out my opinions about in this video. But yeah, a lot of scenes when it's just, wow, I can't believe they put that on screen, but I'm really glad they did. And as another reviewer said, it's kind of the movie that he didn't know he wanted, but once he saw it, he kind of knew that he almost needed it. And that's kind of how I felt about this movie. I really wanted to see it, but after I saw it, I was really happy with when I came out of the theater.
It was a good break from all the jump scares and all this other things.
But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this review on The Lighthouse. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this movie. And if you haven't seen it, what you're excited about. And try to keep spoilers out of the comment section in this video, because we are making another video. Stay tuned for that. A theory video about the Lighthouse that we're just going to be kind of letting loose all the stuff about the Lighthouse that we want to talk about in this video. Just a giant explanation,
all endings, all everything. So if you've already seen the Lighthouse, go to that one, and if you haven't watched it, come back.
But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this review on the Lighthouse. I hope you all enjoyed it, and hopefully we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye.